Hi everyone, I'm back in the kitchen. Today I'm making lemon meringue pie, and because it's one of mine and my daughter's favorites, my husband will eat it too. So first in this pot I have 1 cup of sugar, and I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of cornstarch and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and whisk that good. And I'll have the description of the recipe. Even though it's so hot today, I just thought I would whip this up because I didn't feel like buying one. So I'm going to turn the burner on to medium low. Cornstarch has a lot of lumps. Then I'm going to add the 1 1/3 cup of water. Then I'm going to add in the 1/2 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice. And I'm going to let that come up. Oh, I'm going to put in the 1 tablespoon of lemon zest also. And I'll let that come up to a boil. And then when it starts rolling, I'll turn it off and temper in my egg yolks. And once it starts to boil, I'll let it boil for 1 minute. And I'll bring it back. Just a reminder, you want to whisk this continuously. You don't want it to get lumpy or anything. So, still whisking away here. It will be nice and clear by the time it starts boiling and the minute goes off. So I'm going to turn the heat off of that. I'm going to temper in my 5 egg yolks. And I know some of them cracked. But I'm going to add just a little bit of this hot mixture into the eggs so that we don't have scrambled eggs. Just a little at a time. I'm going to whisk that in. I'm going to do just a tad bit more. And even 1 more tad bit, and then I'll pour it in. Alright, that should be good and warm and hot enough to pour back in. If it does start to curdle or anything, you can always run it through a sieve before you put it into the pie shell, which, by the way, the pie shell, store-bought. But I already just pre-baked it at 375 for 15 minutes, and poked it with a knife on the bottom. You can use a fork, but I didn't feel like dirtying an extra utensil because I had to cut the butter. So here we go. All right, now we want to turn the burner back on. I have the big burner, so I'm going to do it closer to low than medium. All right, and then when this brings up bubbles again and boiling, I will let it boil for 1 more minute. And then when that's done, I'll put in the 2 tablespoons of butter. See my lemon seeds? So I did use real lemons, but I'll bring you back when this is done boiling for a minute. Okay, it was boiling for a minute, so I'm going to add in my butter. I'm using unsalted. Sorry if I keep looking up there because I switched my camera so it's down the bottom. Alright, then I'm going to let this cool for a couple of minutes and work on the meringue, and then I'll pour it into the pie shell. So let me get the meringue station set up. So yep, I decided to go ahead and pour this mixture into the pie shell. There it is. No scrambled eggs. Now for the meringue. So first, we're going to need the egg whites. We're going to beat these to a soft peak in my bowl, and I'll bring it back. Anyway, I'm going to need half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. It's kind of like a binding, it kind of makes it stick better. And I'll bring it back. Okay, we got somewhat soft peaks. I just don't want to go too far because then we need stiff peaks after we add the sugar and stuff. So next, it's half cup of sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 3/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla. 3/4. So first, the sugar, half a cup, and you're going to add that in slowly. And make sure you're using the whisk attachment. Now I'm going to do the 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And now I'm going to do the 3/4 teaspoon of vanilla. And now whisk it to stiff peak. Okay, y'all, that took a good like 6 to 7 minutes, and don't worry, you'll get there. But yeah, it's very stiff now. And so now you want to spread this all over your pie, and you want to get it all at the edge of to the pie crust so that it'll bake in, seal it in there. I'm just going to use the spoon I used for the lemon zest. I might want to wipe it off because I don't want it to get wet. Let's to clean up. See how stiff it is? It's not moving. This looks so good, but you don't eat it. It's just egg whites and sugar. We gotta bake it, and I had the oven preheating to 375 again. Still nice and hot on the bottom. This is dairy-free. You could get a gluten-free pie crust and make it, that'd be gluten-free because you're using cornstarch, not flour. If anybody is gluten-free and dairy-free. Now there are eggs, of course. So now I'm just gonna make little peaks so it'll look pretty when it bakes. And I probably could have went a little bit longer beating the egg whites, but not much. All right, that's good enough for my family. Okay, it's going in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes because you just want the eggs to be done. Don't want it to get too brown. Don't look if you get dizzy. I'm being as gentle as I can. Okay, 375. I'm going to set it for 9 minutes. And I'll be back. And then of course it has to chill, so I won't be able to taste test it till tonight, but I'll let you see when I take it out. Okay, I set it for 9, but it's been in there for 8 and it's looking a little dark, so just enough time for me to clean up the kitchen. I'm actually going to let it go for the 30 seconds more, even though it is a little dark, because some of it still looks pretty white. So, I'm going to turn the oven off. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I better get my other mitt too. 1 more minute without the oven on. Alright, now I am taking it out. Still pretty jiggly, if you can see that. So now I have to let this chill for like 3 to 4 hours, and then I can have a piece tonight after dinner. And I will let you see and know how it tastes. Hopefully that firms up so it's not so jiggly, but I'll let you know. Okay everyone, I couldn't wait, and it's only been about 2 hours, so the first slice didn't come out too well. But there it is. I didn't even bother to get out my camera stand. You know what they say, the first piece is always the worst, so that's the cook's piece. So let's give it a bite again. Just like a lemon meringue pie. Yum yum. And it's, you know, setting up pretty good the longer it sets. If you put it in the fridge, make sure you put saran wrap down on it so that it doesn't get all the, you know, wet condensation build up and get all weepy. But this is good. Make you a lemon meringue pie. Just the right amount of tartness too. So y'all have a blessed rest of your week. Take care. Love you. God bless. Bye.